Afternoon, gentlemen. Just here today to announce the fact that we've actually, and we're very pleased to say it, we've signed Micky until the end of season 2021. Micky's been a very successful manager in his career before here, but actually here he's done the almost impossible task of getting out of that league that we were in. But along the way, two trips to Wembley, but also a manager who's been successful in not only winning games, but actually winning them in a way that Tranmere Rovers supporters like to see. So in the way we play, he's been instrumental in doing that with the squad that he's had. I think also he's been instrumental because he's a guy who gets the club, having played here. He's a guy who's established this linkage and strengthened this linkage and bondage with the fans, so the terraces and the team come together as one, and together with the club, we can move forward. And that's been to my mind, that's been one of the major features of why the club is being seen to successfully turn the corner. It's not finished, and that's part of the reason that Micky's been signed, because there's still a big job to do. I think importantly that Micky's a manager that is sought after. I know that. He tells me he's 47. I haven't checked. 46, sorry. And he's signed up for basically some of the most important years of his career. So I think that in itself is a statement as regards where Micky feels the club's going, and it's a suitable platform for him to develop as a manager, as well as for the club to develop alongside that. So I think, I'll say no more than that, and I'll ask Micky possibly to say a few words and invite you to ask questions. Thanks.
Something very proud moment, Micky, after the work you've done. How do you feel?
Yeah, obviously I'm delighted to be the manager of Tranmere anyway. That's from day one. It's always something that I was very proud to do. I just think we got to the stage, and me and the chairman had sat down and had a chat, and we believed it was the right time to make for me and the club, to make a statement and say that we believe that we should carry on and keep pushing Tranmere forward. That's the important thing. And now we can be settled and knowing that it's me that's going to be a part of, well, be the manager that's going to continue that push forward. So I'm very pleased about that, because everybody knows what Tranmere means to me. They know that being a manager is a fantastic experience anyway, but to manage a team that you're so emotionally involved with makes it a different kind of experience. So it's a terrific challenge for me. I want to carry on moving the club forward, because it means so much to us all, and to have signed the contract now and know that that's what we're going to do just settles everything down, I believe.
Obviously previously played for Tranmere, so it's a second spell in your time with the Birkenhead club. Have you felt that your bond with the club itself has grown stronger as a result of your managership?
I think, yeah, when you have emotional experiences with a football club like we've gone through, I think you're going to get that emotional attachment anyway, aren't you? Because you and the fans, the players, right from the top, what we're doing, have been to some places together and experienced some things together that can only bond you. So yeah, that's increased because of the moments that we have had together, the games that we've been involved in together, and the celebrations that we've had together. But I want to carry that on now. I'm not too bothered about the past now. It's about keep continually moving it on and keep improving it, and I'm going to get the opportunity to do that now, and I'm really pleased to be able to say that.
Was it an easy decision to make, or because we talk a lot about players' loyalty these days, but we understand that. Say for example, someone like Andy Cook has went on to further his career and moved up the ladder, even though he's done a good job for Tranmere, as you have. Did you need any reassurances, if Mark covers his ears, from what sort of investment will come into the club to try and drive it forward and all go in the same direction?
I think you always have the conversation. We speak all the time. I know that I will have the ability to keep moving the club forward, and I think the word is sustainably, because it's a very, very well run football club. I'm inside that, I know that, and that's a club that you would want to be involved in. You know that as well as I do, it will keep growing all the time, and as it gets bigger, we're winning games and improving everything around, making the playing staff that's here's better, and adding to that will make the chances of success even greater. But I'm really pleased with that, like I say, that I'm going to get the opportunity to do that now, and I'm excited about it. I'm very, very ambitious. Everybody who knows me and is close to me knows that this wasn't a decision that I would say was difficult to make, but that isn't because that I wasn't ambitious. I believe that me and Tranmere can grow, improve, and keep moving forward with my career side by side at this football club.
Micky, why is the timing of this announcement, why is that so important? Why January maybe? Get it out the way now, given the position the club are in the league, and you're looking towards this announcement. Could have maybe waited till summer. Why now?
Well, when's a better time? We don't have any hidden agenda about timing or anything like that. It was a conversation that me and the chairman had. There was no real fuss about it, to be honest. It was I wanted to stay, the chairman wanted me to stay, we believed it was a good fit. It was done very, very quickly. There's been nothing really to get in the way of both of our focuses about what our jobs are at Tranmere. It was done really fast. We got it done. I'm not one to say we got it out the way, but we did it over dinner. Quickly got things organised, and here we are today. No real fuss, just carry on with the job, and it won't get in the way of anything really.
Going to just take that one on timing. The issue, Micky said it to some extent, and that is that when you work closely with somebody, you understand what he's about, he understands what I'm about, and Micky understands what the club's about. So we both have, I think, the ethic, and there's a phrase that we use around the club: the better never sleeps, and we both understand that we want to move on all the time. We've moved on since the National League. We've got into the Football League. Micky's proven that he's taken that squad of players and he's got us into a good position in the Football League. The stuff that we're doing in the window now, to be quite honest, we were talking about that in September, in October, in November and December. We were always looking to improve in that regard. So there is a constant conversation that goes on between Micky and myself, and there isn't like suddenly a Damascus conversion on the road to Damascus. Suddenly we decide that this is what we need to do. We spoke about it in the summer, and to be quite honest, I think we both got busy with what we were doing, and we put it to the back, and it popped up again, and it seems a suitable thing to do now, and we've just done it. And as Micky says, it isn't on the basis that we're just sort of comfortable bedfellows and we rub along together. We don't, because we will talk about things, we will have views about things, we'll debate things, and I think that's a healthy relationship to have. The fact of the matter that we both saw that there's an opportunity to put some stability around the club, and so, you're talking about a context within which players like to come, because they like to come to a club where a manager is secure in his position, rather than they come in one day and next minute he's gone. So I think that's another added advantage to where the club sits in the context of trying to sign players. But it is it's been a natural progression, and I come back to the fact that Micky's been successful, but he gets the club, so he understands. And one thing that fans can take from Micky being here is that he knows exactly what the fans on the terraces here at Tranmere mean when a player's out there and isn't really giving it a go. And if you look at some of the recent programme on Sunderland, for example, that dissatisfaction with fans when they feel the players on the pitch aren't actually putting the effort in. Well, Micky's been out there, as I have, and as a consequence, you can be rest assured that nobody will be allowed to slack in that regard. So that's the type of thing that's in the background, and the signing and the timing of it was a natural thing to happen, and just another step on the journey. A big step, I would say, but another step on the journey.
I think you just touched on the next question then. How important is it when this announcement obviously comes just half an hour, 40 minutes after the Ben Pringle news. How important is it to have a manager like Micky with his track record here at Tranmere, to be able to call on that and use Micky and what he's building here as a selling point to bring in players into the club?
It's a question of me, Micky, rather than you, I guess. But it's a massive thing for me, I think, because as a player, when you sign for a club, you know, you sign for the individual to some extent. You sign for the club as well, and you know it's so much better if you know that individual is going to be part of the fabric of the club and part of the context within which you train and develop. And you look at that individual, and I think it's always important. We're blessed here in terms of a lot of our peer group, whereby we have a good training facility, we have a great ground, and we have a great fan base. You know, I spoke to the manager from Swindon on Saturday evening, and he said, "Your fans are great. You know, they kept you going when we were 2-0 down at home." A lot of fan bases don't do that, and that's something I think we've built over the course of the last 3 years or so. And you know, Micky's been a major part of that. So it all adds. And I think it's stability. You know, you want to come and move your family, you want to come and play in this environment, then you don't really want the manager who signed you to go in 2 weeks' time. But more than that, I think it's also the reputation that Micky has that's important in terms of what he's done. You know, the next job in hand is to get out of this league, and Micky's done that. But it's not just that; he's done quite a lot of other things. You know, he's developed players. You've seen players develop since they've been here. You know, you've seen Norwood develop, you've seen Cook develop. You've seen Noel Byrne develop, you've seen any number of players who are in the squad, Manny, etc. And players recognise that. You recognise that somebody's been important in your development. And so I think that reputation is also out there, and that's another reason why people would come to this club. So it makes it a lot easier, I think.
Talked about sustainability, and obviously expectations as well were very high when the club was in the National League. Now they're back in the Football League, more natural habitat. Have you set a goal for Micky this season, or is it just a case of sustainability at this point?
I never set goals for Micky on the basis that, you know, if we sit down, if we don't want to get out of this league, then we shouldn't be here. So I think that's self-evident, and it's the goal for Micky, it's the goal for the club, it's the goal for the fans, and then you go the next step. So I don't set goals in the sense of, you know, you've got to do this or you've got to do that, because Micky will do the best, and I'm confident he'll do the best that he can do to try and achieve it. And well, my job is to try and get a club that can provide a platform with resources to enable him to do that. So in terms of, if it's a wider angle in terms of what is sustainability, I've talked about it many times, and it's probably not for this conference because I'll jump into accountancy speak and bore everybody to death. The answer is, and Micky gets it, it's what we can afford to do, and we've always done that in the signings that we've made. And I think people can recognise that we have actually gradually improved the squad. I mean, I looked at the squad on Saturday and the bench on Saturday and compared that to where we were when we came into this league last time, but in the wrong direction. And without denigrating ex-players, etc., I think that is a far better squad that we had than the one we had coming down from League One.
Yeah, that was an observation in the press box on Saturday. Is exactly that point, how strong the bench actually looked and various different attacking options that were on it. Micky's pointed out himself in post-match press conferences that there's the squad that's I'm not saying, he hasn't said boxing above its weight in the league, but it's a National League squad that's on the edge of the playoffs. Is the plan now to try and flood with more Football League players, or more experienced players from the Football League?
I think the players that have come in, Micky can speak to that better than I can, but the players that have come in do have Football League experience, and we've always tried to shop up a little bit. And I think that was borne out by the fact that the players who've left us have gone to League One. No other players we have in the National League. So that's sort of, if you like, the aim. It's difficult to do. But Micky...
Yeah, but the plan's always been that when we come in to the Football League from the National League, it's always been that we believed that these lads had ability to improve and make another jump, and that's proven to be correct. But as we go along through the transfer windows, if you want, or the summer, when we get the opportunity to add to that in certain areas of the squad, and I say squad because it's not just about the first 11, because there's some lads that we're trying to make better that are not actually playing, but we believe will have a big impact at this football club at some stage. So it's always been about that, about looking at keep moving the team forward all the time, but it never really needed wholesale changes, and it doesn't probably now. It just needs when the opportunity comes, because that's the important thing that people's got to remember. It's the opportunity, because good players are not always available, because good players are playing for other people's teams. But when they do become available, you do get the opportunity to be able to bring them, because you think they'll improve our squad. We have the ability here to be able to do that, and that was important to me, to be able to do that. We have now got the ability that if we believe people like Ben Pringle become available, we can get after them and go and try and bring them to Tranmere, because we know that they'll improve the overall quality of the squad, and we'll continue to do that. That's just a continual thing, but that's about a club that's like Tranmere that has to keep moving up the leagues, because I don't believe it's in the league that matches the size of the football club yet, nowhere near. So but it's going to be a gradual thing. It's going to be about making the players that we have here better, keep improving them, keeping their standards high, keeping their ambition levels high, and then adding from outside when the opportunity comes, because that's just an evolving football club. That's just what happens, and we'll continue to do that.
You touched on Ben Pringle coming to the team today, left side midfielder. Specifically, why have you decided to go for him?
We don't have any wingers. We have Johnny Smith, really, that's an out and out wide player. Connor Jennings has been doing us a job out there, but I wanted to get, it was just another, like when we signed Micky Mellon, it was to bring something to the group. Unfortunately he's injured, but it was to bring something to the group that was different to what we already had, but we wanted to know what we were going to get. So with Micky Mellon, we knew what we were going to get. So it was important that we made that signing, same with Perkins. We knew what we were going to get. Well, Pringle will be the same. We know what he'll bring to the group. We know the levels that he's played at. He's still very, very hungry to do really well. He's at a good age. And we always like our wingers here. We love our wingers. So it was an opportunity, just like I said. Opportunity came up. We know all about him. And when opportunity came up and we had the ability to try and get it done, we moved very, very quickly and we're able to get it out of the line, and we're delighted that he's here.
And will he be available for Saturday?
He'll be available. He'll start training with us on Thursday.
Just on a technical note, when did the current contract, before it was signed, go on until?
It was on a year's notice. It was a rolling contract.
And has Mike Jackson had his deal extended to?
At this point in time, we haven't done that.
Is that the?
Although he's recently had an extended contract.
Okay.
I'm going to ask the inevitable question. Obviously, good news for the club, players, and of course, I suppose, as we pleased now for the direction the club's going. All thanks to yourself.
Well, I'm delighted to be here and call myself the manager. I think that goes without saying. I do every day that we come into work, we come in to represent the fans, because they're the lifeblood of the football club. We try and make sure that we train hard and represent them all the time, and at every game that we play in. Of course, this is football, we will disappoint at times, that's just the way it is, but we never set out to do that. When we do disappoint, we want to come back in on Monday and we feel the pain of that, if you like, because we are all Tranmere people. So the fans know that we quickly get back on it as quick as we can to try and get back on track again and keep moving the club forward. And they've got people in charge from the top all the way right through the football club who really care about it, and they know that we will continue to fight to keep moving it forward, and that will never change. So I'm here for a bit longer. People will maybe get fed up with seeing my face, but I'm here for longer, in order to try and continue to keep moving this club forward to where we all believe it should be. Where that is, who knows, but we'll just continue to keep winning games, but we know that it's at a better level than what it is now because of the size of the place and the size of our fan base and everything being in place and to be able to do that. So we'll keep working hard to keep winning games on the training pitch, know why we're on it, keep representing the fans properly, and like I say, they've got a guy now who they know nearly 2.5 years now that will demand that from his players, and his players are very demanding of him as well. So it's a good recipe.
Will you celebrate this with any further additions to the squad, or are we done for this month?
No, like I said, if opportunity comes up, we've missed out on a few. I won't lie about that. We've missed out on a few. That's what happens. Everybody else is looking at good players as well. We're currently looking at a few as well. But that's what happens at clubs like Tranmere. It's a club that's transitioning upwards. So as it transitions upwards, personnel will change, personnel has to improve. It's just the way it is. We at our levels, that's what happens. So we're continually looking to try and do that. We've got a few plates spinning, as we say, to improve the group. And I mean the group. It's important that, because the players will be listening to these interviews, it's about improving the group overall and having as many options in there and as much competition as possible, because as I say to them all the time, and I say to everybody, it's about Tranmere winning. That's all it's about. We've got to put ourselves to the side, me included. It's not about me, it's about Tranmere winning games of football. So I'll do everything I can and put all my emotion to the side, and do everything that I can to make sure that the bottom line is that Tranmere wins, and the players and myself are here to try our best to make that happen for Tranmere.
And while clubs are looking for better players, other teams without managers are doing the same, aren't they? So I guess this reinforces why this contract's probably been signed now.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an element of this is about stability without stagnation. It's about the same again, actually, but it's the same again isn't the same old, same old. The same again is somebody who's got ambition. So you know, the fans can look at that. You know, and you add to that the fact that the job in hand is to get into league. Well, Micky's done that. Well, Micky knows what the task is to do that. If you're looking at how you sign managers, it's very difficult. How do you sign a manager? How do you know you're not taking a massive risk? But this isn't something that's born out of just trying to avoid risk. This is something that's been done positively, and it is about somebody who's at the peak of his career, entering the peak years of his career, and has signed a commitment to the club, and he knows the club from the inside. So I think it's a massive statement to everybody out there, the fans and to players who want to come. And this is a man who's developed players. So if you want to develop as a player, come here. If you want a platform as a player, come here. If you want a fan base that will adore you, come here. So this is really what this is about, and this is why it's an important statement, I think, in the life of the club and the journey that the club's on, because we haven't finished yet.